Okay, where were we? Research stuff. Oh, yes. Get rid of this now. Okay, I want to make it so that we'll do this in a cool way. Let's figure out this. Okay, so in our craft menu provider, let's remember how this works. Select users. Oh, can craft. Cool. Oh yeah, we already have. I feel like we can change this now. Let's just make a can craft provider. Dart. Ref, but it would be the can craft ref, I think. Ref. .g.dart. Oops, I missed a G. I'm just gonna return true temporarily. So what we can do is inventory equals ref.watch inventory map provider. Then basically that gets us all that. And we'd obviously want to pass in a resource, which I think makes us now a family. So then it'll be basically this. Inventory is actually this. I'm gonna get rid of this for now. Can craft equals ref.watch can craft provider. Here I need to pass in resource, or selected resource, of course. we still save this? Oh yeah. Okay. Resource, we'll also get rid of this. Just do a bit of a refactor here. Oh, look at all that. That'll go away. Check. Okay, so that's cool. Then what we want is a new file called resource available from research provider.dart. So let's just grab some of this stuff. Hey, the heck? Research available, or resource available. People from research. It's going to be a long name, but this will be resource available from research provider, and we'll just return true. And then we can also in here, if dot watch, or yeah, this will be a watch resource resource available from research provider, passing in that same resource. Return false there. Okay, let's make sure that this is working as expected. So let's try crafting a screw. So I need iron plates. Do I have iron plates right now? I have 9. Yep. Okay, so that's working. What's something that I don't? Yeah. Okay. I think we're good. Now, research levels is going to equal resource dot research requirements for final RL in let's actually just make this final levels completed. available equals true, and then we'll do this in research levels. If dot contains RL, I guess we can just return false. Don't actually have to do this. And then we'll return true at the end. Okay. Okay, then we'll go to our resources. Let's find screw. And check what it needs. So it needs level 2. It's going to make it level 1 to make this a bit quicker. Let's go to our research. Research levels. Level 1 is going to take, let's make it 10 seconds, 5 seconds even. And then in our menu, this would be in craft menu. Can craft, okay. Oh, you know what? I think I messed one thing up. Research, oh no, yeah. Oh, if it contains, yeah. If it doesn't contain is what we really need to be checking here. Oh. Okay, let's just see. Oops, craft. Oh, that's weird. What research level am I at? Yeah, okay. For RL and resource dot. So let's just print research levels. Research level. Level 2. Oh, it's because I changed. It still doesn't make sense. Okay, we haven't researched anything, and I go to craft. Missing resources. Yeah, okay. So if I actually research this, oh, that's just inventory list provider. Let's give myself one more of these, or let's actually just have a whole bunch. Trying to get our research tree to work. We're almost there. Okay, so wait. Let's try and craft. It should say, we're going to change this to actually tell you a little more info, but it's not letting me craft. If I research this though, boom. I should now have the ability to craft this. Yay! Now I can craft. Okay, cool. Now, what we want to actually do though is update that message because so where do we use can craft? I'll get rid of this old version. So we're doing this the cool new way now. Okay, disabled message, can craft. If you can craft, there's no, then we have to do this. I don't really want to do this in a, let's just ref.watch. This is called resource available from research provider. Ref.watch resource available from resource provider. Then we type in the selected resource. So that would just mean basically missing resource. Otherwise, I'll just make it say like research required.
Try to get out of it by some sort of distraction. It won't really do anything except cover up.
Let's rebuild.
So if you feel let down, meaningless, somewhat depressed by this whole thing.
Oh, what has happened? Something's frozen. There we go. Oh, it was like still rebuilding. Research required. Cool. Awesome. Now, next, I don't even really want these to show up in the craft menu. So, let's go to our well, let's open up the craft menu again, see where we get this data from. So we're getting it on selected resource recipes. Okay, recipe list provider. Right. I'll just go to the recipes. How do I get to this easily? I guess just clicking this. So here we're gonna have another one called, actually, I'm gonna refactor this too. Well, let's just try. Craftable, constructible. So basically I want to filter by the ones that are available. These are start. I mean, I guess I can probably just do this here. Dot where, and then get to a list after. We'll call this R. And then I should be able to go ref.watch resource R. I think that might work. Just to limit the ones that we have researched for. And that, we'll just do a rebuild. Okay, so in theory I shouldn't see screw in here anymore. Yeah, I don't have screw. Now if I research to, let's do this one. And go back here, we should see screw. There it is, look, screw. Boom. Now one thing that could be kind of funny, let's see if this is a problem. I'm going to wait for this to rebuild. Okay, so I'm going to start researching this. And while it's going in the background, let's open up the craft. I'm curious what's going to happen when screw comes in. Yeah, it becomes the first thing. I'm not going to worry about that too much. It might be cool to actually, just while I'm thinking about it, research menu, provider, research. So when it completes in, we can also do a ref.read toast .add. We'll just give a little message. research of, it'll be called the research name. Let's see, state dot is researching dot name. So be similar to level 1 research complete. Cool. And this is one that we can actually, forget what else we can pass into this. A type. Type dot success. Okay, cool. That'll just be a nice little thing to have. Tell people they've finished. But I want to refactor this because we can actually make this work differently. So we'll still have this guy right here. And we would do, this is actually going to return a list of this, and we'll call it recipe list. And we'd want to type in recipe list ref, and recipe list type. And basically, we would just return the same thing. And I can get rid of all of this. And hopefully, still going. Succeeded. Okay. Oh, because I call it recipe list. Recipes list. But actually, recipe list makes... What makes more sense? Plural? Actually, I actually think that it's just what we should call it. Recipe list. There's probably somewhere else, a few other places grabbing this. That one's fine. Save all those files. There's also something I want to do just to make sure I'm not having any weird comparison errors. This has just been on my mind for a bit. We're going to our resource model. And I want to make the equals operator. I want to override that, which I think would be good to do here. I don't remember how to do this, so we're going to look it up real quick. Oops. Oh, hey, I have a couple of chat messages here. I had the thing was kind of sized down small. How do I feel about using the new notifiers and generators? I really like them. And thanks for the good luck message, too. Okay, what was I doing? We're going to look up how to override the operator here. Freeze. Override operator. Okay, cool. So it's just like at override bool operator equals, and then we get the other one. And I just want to compare the identifiers, I'm pretty sure in this case. Return identifier equals other dot identifier. Other identifier Did I spell that wrong? I did. Okay, let's try saving that. This is just so when I'm comparing resource types together, like I can kind of do an equals equals on it. Identifier isn't. Yeah, it is. It's right here, look. It's like, is it still building this change? It just succeeded. What the heck? Do I have to put the type in here? Maybe that's why. Okay, I'm doing something wrong because I'm probably just looking at the question. What? I've seen this a million times. Freeze custom operator. Operator. Okay, so I'm using this. You should remove this line. Okay, what? Bool operator equals object other. I guess. Oh, because other can technically be anything. Okay. So I have to do like if other is resource. And I guess we just do return other is resource and we'll just make this say object because I think that's what's it saying. Missing corresponding override of hash code. Try overriding hash code or removing that. Maybe that's freeze override. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I guess, okay, I guess we just need to also identify the hash code. I feel like that's all I need to worry about, right? Oops. Okay, let's rebuild and make sure that this didn't completely break everything. Okay, so far so good. Anything I can craft? I can craft this. Boom. Did I get my suit? Okay, I think we're pretty good here. That'll just save me doing stuff in the future. Okay, not gonna worry about that. Okay, well, this is actually a good time to commit some code because I've done a lot. I call this research tree working. All right, committed that. Okay, so we have a research tree now. That's pretty cool. It's definitely needs some work to configure it on like all the game balancing and stuff, but we have it. What's next? What's next? I've been saying I'm going to fix this graphic for a while now. What is this thing called? Smelter. I just feel like this needs like a dark line at the bottom, basically. Edit. Fill. Color. I'll use this dark one here. Oh, what? What? Fill. Color. Oh, why is my opacity 30? That's so weird. There we go. Okay, we will just try saving this file. Boom. Now that will require a rebuild, at least. Hopefully not a full rebuild, but it'll be fixed eventually. Just feels like it needs like some kind of dark line on the bottom, which we just added. There it is. Okay, it looks a little cleaner now. Okay, so some things like part of me wants to get back to figuring out how to make this work. Just like basically like being able to go into a house, which I'm close, but like my player is just not visible. Like I don't understand what's happening, but maybe I'm gonna fiddle with this for, what time is it? 1:02. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna play with this for like 10 minutes. And if we don't get anywhere, we don't get anywhere. Okay, so let's just go to our main game. Remember what we're doing here. So we have a function called enter building. Creates the indoor level, sets its priority, it adds it. And the problem is when I add the player to the level, we get this crazy crash. Enter. So then I got this null operator thing. And I suspect one possible place it could be, because like the only thing that's my code is actually this update function, which like has nothing to do with that, but somewhere it does. So what I'm going to search for is game widget. Like I feel like it's happening in, it wouldn't be in the save game. Game widget game. Like there's this right here that's looking at the current game. Like I wonder if this becomes null at some point. So maybe we'll just do something if game widget key dot current state equals null. Print we null and return out. Return false. Wait, but this is just the pickup function, so it wouldn't be this, but where else do we? And let's actually make this game state null. Where else do we do this? Okay, this is also within the pickup function, so we're already out of this, if that's the case. If level is level. Yeah, that's something I was fiddling with. So we're actually just gonna get rid of that. Save game. Yeah, this is the only, oh, resource content menu. But this only happens, oh, that's literally us clicking this button. I mean, let's also just put it there. Is there somewhere else? Okay, save game, but this is just in the, oh, what's this? Delayed. I mean, I guess I could put this code here too. let's just also put it here, just to be like extra safe. It's frustrating. Enter. Then I get this, like, I don't understand. It's saying like there's a null check operator used on a null value, but it doesn't tell me where. This is part of RiverPod. This is part of the game. Yeah. Well, I got 4 more minutes to fiddle with this. Game widget key. Resource contents menu, but this is the one. Yeah, that's not it. That. Okay, so I can't have anything to do with this. I'm still going to keep this code because it could potentially create an issue. What's this one? We would have already gotten out by the time we got there, and same with that one. Then save game, we're already doing that. So it definitely has nothing to do with this. What's this inside? This is also within that same function. Save game. I mean, we could put it here too. Or just return. That's not going to solve our problem. So one other idea I had for this is we could construct, like, I don't know, it's probably not the best way to do it, but like in theory I could put the house like somewhere really far away on the map and it just kind of like teleports you there, the inside of the house. But I don't like it because then, you know, if we don't have multiple houses, like it's not really possible without making a bunch of random houses. So let's go back to our craft down. Enter building. So it only happens when I actually add the player to it. What if I just add it to the game itself? It's worth a try. And let's try this. So we still get the same problem. And like I already know player's not null or any of that stuff, so I don't really get it. Enter. See, I can enter it. But then I don't have a player, and it's kind of useless. It's weird. It's like almost like I'm hitting an edge, but probably not. No, I'm not. I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. Okay, we're going to go to my other project because I do a switch level thing in here. I'm just going to double check that I didn't miss something stupid. Okay, so we have a load level. And my load level is a little bit different. Where's that? Load level. Okay. So one of my differences is I am making the level part of the class, which I kind of need because I need to be able to talk to the level. So that should be fine. Okay. So let's see, doing that. Then my enter building, I'm basically making a new thing. And I'm taking the camera and I'm just setting its world to use the new level. And we can keep on, we're just updating that. So I don't see how that's the problem. It has something to do with adding the player again. We'll try something. So let's actually pass the player through and see if simply doing that does anything better. Bring me back to the game. Okay. This didn't crash at least. So then let's just try adding the player to, and I won't use game.player, I'll just use player. And then this will crash again. We get this crazy crash because we're adding player, but it doesn't make any sense. Alright, it's a little after the deadline I gave to play with this, so we're not gonna worry about it for a bit. Wonder if, wait, where do I wonder if maybe we just need to like, I'm just gonna play this for one more minute. Final late indoor player, and we can just go indoor player equals player and pass in the same character. Let's just see. Enter building. So we'll actually pass an indoor player, and then we will an indoor thing. We will use. It'll still be the player, and we'll add it. Okay. So now it's like a totally separate player instance. Let us rebuild fully, just to make sure. Come on. Oops, I need to click on that. I want to click on this. I want to go here. I want to place it. Place it here. Sure. Enter. Okay, so here. Oh, look at this. Okay, this could be the approach. This could at least like get me like going. Let's try it now that we actually have them coming in. So let's get rid of this. Get rid of this. And let's find a way to exit this. So I feel like we'll go into tiled. This isn't really like what we would want to do, but let's go to our layers, back to our tile layer, and let us get something that looks like a door. Wait, don't I have... I wonder, maybe I'll just actually, let's go to my collision boxes, and let us, where are they, objects, I'm going to get rid of this one. I'm going to remake it, but I'm going to go from there, and I'm add another one that's here to here. Then back to our tile map. Let's just grab that same sort of thing. No, this is just temporary. Just so it like looks like, hey, I can exit there. And we would just save this. Okay. So let's go back here and let's go to our level. And let's add collisions as well. Add collisions. There we go. And yep, collision box. Okay. I actually think that's all we need. And I'm actually just going to stand here, and I'm going to save this game as house. Save a bit of time. So I'll enter the building, and then I put there, except what? Wow. Wow. Okay. I think what's happening is the camera is following the old player. This is so hacky. So we can just go cam dot follow indoor player. And I can, in theory, load this house game. Oh, oh, wow. Okay, now we're good. So it's actually following the correct player because there's actually two. Now the collision boxes do not seem to be taking into account right now. Add collisions. Okay, so let's go to our level. To our level, we have add collisions. Okay. This is my own thing, right? Let me just see if there. Maybe I just named something wrong or something. Okay, and what I want to do actually temporarily is when we load. Is this the load function? This is the load level. Yeah, let's just when we start the game, let's just like enter the building. I don't know. This might cause other issues, but oh, that's strange. Maybe I have to do this on. So we load the level. Then let's just try this here. I just want to find an easier way to get into this level and not have to keep building a house. I guess not. Oh, wait. Still rebuilding, and I'm in some weird spot. Okay, we'll just build houses then. Okay, let's get a house right here. We'll enter it. We should also close that when it enters. And yeah, there's no collision boxes here. That makes sense. Okay. Well, that's probably just a typo. Collision boxes. That's why. I call this collisions. Collision boxes. Save that file. Also, let's make the spawn point. Let's move it. I want him to kind of already be like in. How do I move a box? I guess I can just delete this, rename this player. Okay, so we want to do that. We also want to do a couple more things. Enter building. So let's just search for when that comes up. There we go. Enter building. I also want to ref.read resource menu provider resource contents menu provider notifier dot close. So we don't want that to show up. And we also want when the indoor level loads, at least, yeah, we want to set players player dot current equals player dot idle up, so that they're facing away from the door. Okay, that should have fixed a million things. Whee! Enter. Okay, so I now see the closing boxes. Yeah, okay, so I'm colliding. Okay, let's make it so I can leave now. So, I guess what we want to do in indoor level, I'm just going to close others. And in our update function, we want to kind of check if player dot y is greater or equal to size dot I guess background map dot size dot y. I'm just gonna do like a print exit. Let me just clear all these logs. Enter. Cool. So let's just see if, yep, exit happens. Okay, so it's not happening. So I want to actually have a bit of a threshold because I don't even want it to get to there. Probably like there. So we want to take, if it's greater or equal to something minus, maybe I'll just do 16. Then this is where we will have another hacky thing probably. We'll call this void exit building. And we want to go and add level back in. We also want to remove indoor level. Oh, what? What? Oh, indoor level. Oh, shit. This is probably something we need to make also a late. An indoor level is an indoor level, not a level. This, I'm telling you, I know it's a bit hacky. Wait, okay. But if we can make it work, we can make it work. So we remove indoor level, we add in level. We'll probably need to do that. And then we want to take cam.world. We want to go back to following the regular player. We have two players, I know. And the world will become level. So let's just see if, I'm gonna actually take this one out for now. And also let's just open up our collision box and turn debug mode back to false. We'll just get that in the next save. Okay, so I'm gonna place. Oh, I need to refresh. I don't have any houses left. Okay, there we go. Oh, there. Oh, what have I done? There we go. Just slow. Okay, let's build a house. Let's see if we can go onto it. We'll enter it. And we go down here, and it just exits because I didn't actually call that function. Duh. So indoor level, we need to go and we would go game dot exit building. Okay. I don't think I have to refresh for this. So let's try entering, enter, right? Leave, and then whoa, everything just gets fucked again. So let's just try. We need to let's remove indoor level. Actually, let's just try. Let's do this one step at a time. Remove. Actually, I'll try it. I'll do it this way. Where component is level. Let's do this one step at a time. Cool. Okay, so enter. No crashes. That's good. And then I leave, and this is where it will crash. Okay, so let's also just remove component where component is player. Let's see if that crashes anything. Are you restarting? Thank you. Enter. Okay, so far so good. So let's do the same thing here. We're going to go and remove where it equals indoor level. And remove where, oh, this is going to remove. I wonder if, let's not do this. I'm just going to try this a different way. Remove level and remove player. And let's just see if that also works. Okay, so we'll get a house. Build a fucking house right here. Boom, enter it. No, okay. So I can't just remove indoor. Okay, so I can't just remove level and player like that. Enter. Okay, so that works. But I guess we could still remove player again. So remove indoor player, remove where it equals player. Then we want to add level and add player. So the player, okay, where does the player get? Wait, maybe I don't need that. Oh, you're back here again. I wish this would tell me more. Tap callbacks. Interesting. Yep, it's just happening in the update loop again. Okay, so maybe you have to do the same. Exit building. We'll update level to be equal to this. Like we'll construct a new level, which means we just have to add the level. Okay. We'll try that. God damn it. Why? Wait. What? Ah. Oh god. Maybe let's just not remove the player. Oh, this is so frustrating. I don't get it. Level. Null check on null operator. What the fucking fuck? What? Okay, I have an interesting idea. Let's try this totally differently. So, in my load level function, let's do something where I pass in string level name. And we'll have that. And we'll pass in level name here was level 01, I think. Level 0 dot tmx, I think. Wait, let's just make sure about that. It's just, okay, it's just 01. Or just 0, I mean. Okay, so we pass in that. So instead, let us, instead of doing all that stuff, when we enter the building, we're just going to reload the level and pass in indoor level 0. We also want to do this remove, and then we shouldn't have to do any of that stuff. And I'm not going to worry about this. Let's just see if this works. Enter. Okay, then we get a whole bunch of null stuff. Amazing. This is so ridiculous. But then it loads. What the actual heck? Can you tell me where this is happening? Game loop, framework. Let me just not have the remove, maybe. Like, this is what I'm doing here. Because a load level, so there's a bit of a delay, but that's just to have it be black, I guess. The only difference is that yeah, like this is exactly the same. That's like the only there's two differences. One is that, one is the fact that level is not just a variable right here. There we go. What? Cam is late, but not final. What the fuck? This is so annoying. I just want to be able to go inside. Like, tell me where this... Just tell me where this error is happening. Right. I give up. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to build this in debug mode. Main.dart. I just want to know why. Ugh. I have one idea we could do. Come on. Okay. I'm in debug mode now, which in theory should show me a little more detail. Enter. Okay, so we have game, okay, a null operator. So the game dot what? Okay, I'd like to see what this code actually says. It's like covered up. No, where did that go? This is part of the river pod. Okay. Yep. And we got all this stuff. Okay, so what we're going to do instead, let's stop this again. We're going to do a combination of what we did before. P, and we're going to pass in player. But then when we load the level here, we're going to use indoor player. Hey, tuna hand. Yeah, I was actually planning on putting this up on GitHub. Well, it's already on GitHub. It's not a public repo. But I didn't plan to make it public because I got no secrets. I got nothing to hide. I'm literally streaming it, so I'm totally down. In fact, like I'm sort of building this game in mind to um, be moddable. I haven't given it all the thought, but kind of the way I'm designing it, it's very like all the resources and research and everything are just kind of like technically could just be JSON data. So like it's definitely possible that I could find a way to like add mods and stuff. Um, Once obviously I got the core game working, but yeah, I can get this up on GitHub properly, and I'm open for pull requests for sure. Okay, let's just make sure this is in a good spot. All right, well let's just see if this kind of gets us back to a working state. Enter. Okay, you know what? It works. It's done. Okay, so that's getting there. So now let's see. When we actually enter the building, I want to remove the level component. And let's just start with that. So do this like one step at a time. I should probably get more houses. So now it goes black and that goes there. Okay, cool. Then I'm going to take some of these things we had before. Cam.world. Um, Cam.world equals indoor level. Although wait, we're not even using indoor level now. Am I? I don't think we need to do that because we're going to use still the same world. Enter. Boom. Okay. Not following. The camera is not following the player though. Okay, I'm not follow indoor player. That's weird. Okay, well before I get too deep into figuring out, let's figure out level, and then we're gonna load level again, and we're just gonna do level 0, and we're just gonna put player there. Let's save that. Let's also just rebuild. Are you more of like a game dev? Are you a Flutter dev? Are you a bit of both? Oops. Okay, and then we leave. Oh, I don't have the leaving code anymore because it's actually not, it's a different thing. Do my collisions still work? Okay, that's cool. Um, I need a way to leave the level. Um, what can I do? Okay, for now, I'm going to just debug this thing. We're going to, where's my keys? Maybe it's on the player. Okay, where's our key stuff? Boom, 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 boom. Okay, key events, yes. If event, or if key is pressed, dot contains logical keyboard key dot I'm just going to do dot space bar. So we're not, this is just temporary. Then we would go game dot exit building. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm more of a Flutter dev than a game dev, that's for sure. Um, and but I'm having fun making this. Okay, so if I hit space, it should exit, and then we get back to the stupid null thing. God damn it! There's no way. There's no way around this. Um, level equals this. Player equals this. Yeah, it's like I don't get it. I kind of got entering the building working, but can we? How come we can't exit? Indoor player. This is a reference to my main player. Yeah. Oh man, I'm tired of trying to solve this problem. Let me just see if it had something to do with that. I doubt it does. Enter, do, space to exit, and it just goes to null. Okay, well, let's comment this out. And I don't know. I don't know how to solve this. What C++? So, what game do you like? Are you just using shit? I follow this guy Coffee Break on YouTube. I'm pretty sure he does a lot of C++ game dev in some engine. What is that called, or what do you use? What have I done? Resources survivor. See, okay, I made some changes. I'm not gonna just stash them. Um, okay, I kind of want to get this back to like a working state. So I'm gonna just get rid of these. Are not obviously this isn't working. Um, so that's fine. And then I'm gonna just delete this file. Uh, oh yeah, that makes sense. Unreal Engine, of course. It's like so no Unity is like C sharp. Um, and then I know a lot of people who do Unreal also don't really even code. They just like use all the drag and drop stuff, which I would never even. I wouldn't have any fun doing that personally. And then we just gotta get rid of some references and this one right here, enter building. I'm just gonna do ref.read, toast provider. This is just provider notifier. Dot add. Can't enter building. Because you can. We just don't have support for it yet. Sorry. Yeah, Unreal's cool. Like, it's very powerful. It's very, it's also like it's used a lot in like movies and stuff too, which is kind of cool. Like, people code shit in there, and then like, I don't know, particle physics and just like AI, like any kind of simulation, really. Fiddling. I don't even know what I did since. So let's, since I just committed this, let's go to GitHub. Yeah, I'm using Flame, um, which is a game engine, kind of. It is. I mean, so it's built inside Flutter, but it's very different than the way you would normally do Flutter. Like, I mean, you're still using Dart. There's still like, but there's not like a widget tree. It's like a component tree. It's different in that way. It kind of reverses it, and it's more like a game loop, right? So like state management for the game is actually really straightforward because it's just you don't have to worry about state in like a normal game because at any 60 frames a second you can be like what is the state right now anywhere. So I like that about it, but I am using like a lot of this game is actually like built a lot of the logic's built outside of Flame. It's built just with like riverpod. A lot of it is like the game itself, this right here, like anything with the cool graphics, that's Flame. But any of this like overlay stuff, any of my menus, they're all just that's just like Flutter, material UI sort of stuff. So it's kind of this hodgepodge. But Flame's pretty cool. Okay, so what is this project called? Craft Town. So I am going to make this repo public. I gotta remember how to do that. I think it's just on this page, isn't it? Danger zone. Change visibility. This is going to probably ask you for my password. I want to make this repository public. Yes. 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 I gotta do the stupid two-factor thing. Oh, the code just changed. Wow. Okay. All right. So here's the link to the repo is now public. There's no README yet or anything, but the code's pretty good. Uh, can I put a? Yeah, it looks like I can put a link in the chat. So obviously you can check it out and get it up and running. It's using like latest of everything, like pretty at least pretty recent. Maybe it's like minor version, but um, it's 2 weeks ago we started, I guess, according to the GitHub. Or at least that's when I first committed some code. When I was like, cool, it's good, something's working. So obviously you can check it out, play with it, and then if you want to make a pull request, that's cool. Obviously. Right. Yeah, no problem, no problem. Do it. Yeah, it's a lot of. There's obviously some Flame code, but it's a lot of it's just Riverpod, um, which is state management library for Flutter. The Flutter debugger struggling. Ah, I have odd problems here and there, but Flutter compared to many other like frameworks, at least like mobile frameworks, like I feel like I have a lot less trouble than something like Android Studio and actually like native Android. That's where I have my troubles. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do next because I'm gonna give up. I'm giving up on the entering buildings right now. It's becoming too much of a pain. Um, So I got the research tree done today, which is cool. So I can like research stuff. Hey, look, level 1 research complete, which then should allow me to make something else. I can craft these now. Whoa. Meow, 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 meow. So I'm running this again. The cool thing about Flutter is you can build against iOS, Android, Mac, Windows, Linux, and web. Um, this is just Mac because I just find it's the most performant when you're debugging, or like Windows if you're doing that. Like a lot of times I'll even like for a mobile app, I'll just like pull it up in the Mac one and resize it to like a phone size, right? And then you kind of like get that sort of thing with all the, it just doesn't use as much. Like the simulator is heavy. Yeah, at least the iPhone one is. So I'm just using that, but this does build to mobile. And in fact, this is gonna be a mobile game. I already have the mobile stuff working. It's just has a little joystick and it's just like single taps, double taps, that kind of thing. Um, but I do not want to walk around with a joystick while I'm debugging because that would be terrible. Um, I can plant some stuff, which is fun. Um, yeah. Flutter. Yeah, iOS, Android, and by iOS I mean that could be an iPhone, it can be a tablet like iPad or iPhone. Android, iOS, Windows, Mac, Linux, and web, and they're all pretty good. Web has some downsides, as you probably expect. Although I do work in it a lot, but the hot reload is not good in web. It doesn't really have hot reload. It's like a more like a hard reload, so like fully refreshes, which is fine, but that's why I'll usually work in Mac because it's just better. Now the hot reload in Flame also isn't really the best. It still kind of like rebuilds it from start when you save. That's why like even if I just save like this file randomly, some things like carry over of your state, but like some things don't. Like say I'm back like this, so it's kind of I'm missing out on a lot of that, but it doesn't bother me that much. Yeah, don't use Chrome for debugging for sure. It's terrible. It is. I definitely recommend. Like, I don't know if you're on Mac or Windows, but like, do one of those or do iPhone or Android. And if you need a bigger screen, you could do Android tablet. Like, then at least like you kind of get the big screen. Android tablet like emulator, because the hot reload is amazing. It's other than like weird things when you like completely like change your data model and you have to green arrow refresh. Like on a normal app, you don't have to. Like you just kind of like save and stuff just updates, and it's beautiful. It's like the best part about Flutter. Yeah. Okay, I see to step aside for 5 minutes, and if you think, give it some thoughts. If you have any ideas of what I should focus on next, I'm all ears because I'm kind of at completed a big thing today, and I'm trying to decide what to do next. I will be back in 5. Alright, I am back. I'm trying to decide what I want to do next. You know what? I think what I want to do is actually kind of like play the game the way it's intended to be. So let's just go to our inventory inventory list provider, and I'm gonna actually we're actually gonna make a file. Maybe we'll call it like spawn state. Spawn. Yeah, spawn state.dart is fine. And I don't know why it's doing this. Spawn state.dart, open up. Sometimes this happens. Everything goes slow. Cancel. Like, what? It's just making a new file. Okay, so we're gonna call this spawn state, and it's gonna just have a static list of inventory slot, which we'll have to import. Inventory. VS Code might need a restart. Yeah. We're going to just do a little restart here. What is happening? It's insane. Okay. I'm just gonna quit some stuff. Quit this. I'm gonna quit tiled as well. I don't really need it open right now. Just gonna do a little memory cleanup. It's very exciting. Okay, we're gonna quit VS Code. Don't need you, we don't need you, don't need you. We're also gonna completely force quit VS Code. There's some fun debugging, and then we'll reopen it. Okay, we're getting everything reopened, and no, I do not need Dart Frog CLI. I don't know why. I think I need that right now. Okay. Like this, this should be throwing an error right now. Like, what the hell, VS Code? They're still spinning up, I guess. Activating extensions. Like, we should see an error here any minute now. And then we'll be good to go. There we go. Okay. Now let's hope stuff is working nicely. So I'm trying to import this. Wow. It really doesn't. Well, this is unfortunate. Okay. So, we're going to start with so we'll have an inventory slot. Let's start with a bit of probably be nice to have a little bit of water. Actually, no. I don't want water. Let's just resources.iron plate and account. Start with 3 of those. Let's also start with some seeds. So we'll use a maybe a potato seed, and maybe start with like 6 of those. Cool. Actually, let's just start with that. Then, and actually, I'm gonna kind of take the same logic actually. So I have empty, because we need empty slots. Let's do this inventory slot. So inventory state 0. And then we're going to return initial state. Okay. And then basically what I can have is inventory. I'm just going to copy this whole thing. Inventory debug. That way I can still like kind of do things like this. And just simply change that. Okay, so now what happens is instead of our build, really what we're returning here is return spawn state.inventory. And we'll make a constant called, do at the top, const debug inventory. Hi equals false. That way we can actually go, if debug inventory is on, we'll return spawn state.inventory debug. If not, use that. Okay. Hi, how's it going? We're making a game. I'm about to spin it back up. Let's go to Mac. So this is being built actually in Flutter, in a game engine called Flame. It's a cool little engine. It's simple. You know, it's definitely not anything. It's 2D. It's definitely not anything like Unity or Unreal or anything like that. And it's definitely not as mature as some other, you know, game engines. But I love Dart. I love Flutter, and I'm actually building this in part for a competition. It's a Flutter competition, so it kind of was a requirement. Yeah, Flutter and Flame, exactly. And perhaps you came at a good time. Flame, no, it's not super new. It must be like 5 years old or something, but it's a very active project. Godot, I've heard, is great. I would like to check it out. I'm actually just not much of a game dev, so I'm not that experienced. But I'm very experienced with Flutter and Dart, which is why I'm doing this. And like the competition that or the game jam I'm part of is specifically a Flutter game jam. So I couldn't use Godot anyways. Okay, so basically, I would be spawned, and all I have is some seeds. Cool. And the first thing I would want to do, well, we can plant some seeds to at least get some stuff going. So I'm going to dig up some holes here. Wee. So I have, what, six potato seeds? Okay, cool. So then let's put in some potato seeds. Now, my food and stuff is good, my energy's good. I probably would want to get some of this stuff going. Hello, Mohammed. Yeah, I use, I make apps usually. Usually I'm making apps. Sometimes I'm making web apps, so I'm using, something like SvelteKit is kind of my go-to. these days, although I've done pretty much all web libraries for the past million bajillion years. But yeah, I spend a lot of time in Flutter. I'm very comfortable in Flutter, although still learning new things all the time. Okay, so what can I craft with what I have? Lumber. I can make... ideally, I want like a community chest because I have to redo all this because I want to be able to sell my things. So for that, I need some wood. Do I have wood? Wood. We need to use an axe to mine wood. And no, this is not my art. I'm not a pixel artist. I'm not even really a visual artist in any way. It's something I found on itch.io, and I spent a few bucks to buy a few packs. It's a cool package, and I'll definitely be, including it in the game notes, credits, whatever. Or I might hire an artist if this game turns out to be pretty fun. I might hire someone to actually do custom art for it. Okay, so now that I have that, I can in theory craft a community chest. Yay. Okay, so we'll go and we will, we got our community chest here. So we can actually just place this somewhere. Let's place it here. And I can go and get these carrots, or potatoes rather. I'm getting a whole bunch. And now I can start making some money. So I'll put my potatoes in here. I'm gonna do a whole bunch of them. Yay. And we'll start selling so that we're good. I mean, I bought it. It was like $3. I wouldn't say it was like a big purchase. And I just thought it had it was kind of a whole collection that had a lot of things that I wanted, and I mean it's worth more than $3 for sure. Okay, so I have that selling now. I might want to. So now in theory, I'm getting more money, so I could actually buy, some carrots, right? Carrots. Let's buy those, and let's plant them. I got it from itch.io. I'll show you the. Hi, Andrew. So I went to itch and I searched around a bunch, but I went into game assets, and then I think I probably did one of these, maybe 16 by 16 or something, and I came through and I found it's called Craftland. Yeah, itch exactly. So I'll just find the actual package. I think it's called Craftland or something. Yeah, so it's this one here. And I got, yeah, I think it was $8 or something. And yeah, it came with all the tile stuff. It came with a bunch of things. Hey, there's some animation stuff. I didn't realize that. That's cool. But anyways, that's kind of what I threw together. And then this map that I made is just a temporary map just to play on. I don't think it's very good at all. It's kind of just hey, okay, cool. And I got this little water over here, and I got some trees, and there's a beach. This is my favorite part. It's just beautiful. But I don't have any collision detection on this stuff. I can just go over here because that's just what I have right now. That'd be fine. Andrew Tate. It's not Andrew Tate. It's just a different Andrew. Who uses Golang in here? I have not used Golang, although other than Rust, if I had my next language to learn, it would probably be Go. There are things that seem pretty cool about it. And look, I got so many carrots. I'm gonna sell all these. So I'm making money, which is cool. Right now I'm just kind of figuring out a bit about the actual mechanics of the game on how it would start. Oh, I'm low on energy. So what I actually need, oh yeah, I need a bed or a tent. So tent, I need straw. Okay, so that's actually good because you can make this basically right away. So I'll get my bed going. I forget how much it was, so I'll just get a whole bunch. That's probably enough. And nope, I'm still missing. I need 20. Oh my gosh. Do you use Lang? Okay, we're making a tent, hopefully before we die, because my energy is at like 2%. Okay, go. Tent, place the tent here. Take a rest. Oh, I have to hold it down. Oh my god. Okay, so there. I had a nice little rest. I'm gonna have one more rest. The problem is that's bringing my thirst in. Oh, yeah, my energy's high. So now it's like, okay, survival, I need water. But the problem is I don't think I can get water without a bucket. So, although, wait, that just said move. Move closer. Yeah, wooden bucket needed. So I need to craft a wooden bucket. Question is, how do you craft a wooden bucket? Here we go. Wood. Okay, I have enough stuff. That's good. So now that I have the bucket, I can go get my bucket. Now I can go and scoop up water, move closer. So I have to fix something there, I feel like. And then I go and get my water, which is great. So, and then with water, I can actually consume it and get my thirst down. Boom, boom. I don't know if you can see, but the little stats are changing. Which is good. I'm also getting hungry. Now, right now there's, well, I could go back to this chest and actually take some of these things. Let's just take a few carrots. And we'll go to our inventory and I'll just eat a couple carrots. Okay. It's good. And now let's go have one more nap because my energy is... I'm just figuring out, like, you know, the hustle at the start of the game and figuring out what resources you should spawn with and that kind of stuff. Oh, you watched my River Pod and Hive video. Let me remember that one. Yes, that was building like a weight tracking app. Yeah, that one was cool. I'm actually like, I feel like since then I've been using RiverPod a little bit differently and better. But I think that video still probably stands the test of time. Okay, here we go. So Golang, HTMX, Tailwind. That I agree that is a pretty good stack. HTMX is really awesome. Like I used that a long time ago before. Like I think it just like got on the hype train like in the last 9 months or year or whatever. Because like a lot of YouTubers have been talking about it. But I do think HTMX is cool. I also just like that we're moving back to this like server side rendering kind of world. Like I've been doing dev for like 20 years, and like it's kind of going this full circle right now, right? Like we went from like doing stuff in, you know, whether it was like Ruby on Rails or like even like WordPress or something, and everything's just server side, to like now we're using Vue and React and SEO sucks, but now we're like kind of getting back to that world. And HTMX I think is like proof that like, you know, there is like so much, like you don't need all these like bloated frameworks. Like right now I'm using SvelteKit on a project, and yeah, there's obviously like some, you know, client-side JavaScript, but a lot of it's just server-side, you know, server-side code, and it's nice, just like so fast. Okay, so let's go to my resources. So level 1, I need 10 iron plates in order to do this. So to get iron plates, can I make iron plates? I shouldn't. I think I technically can. No, I can't. Yes. Okay, so in order to make iron plates, I need a smelter. In order to get a smelter, I need iron ore, copper, and stone ore. Okay. Oh, copper. I don't think I have copper on this map, actually. That's gonna be a problem. I mean, I don't think I do. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to change my tool to a pickaxe. Oh, wait, I thought I did. Oh, no, that's not the pickaxe. Yeah, I was talking to someone earlier on this stream, or maybe my previous stream, about macros and meta programming and stuff. Um, yeah, make a bed. So yeah, I was talking to someone about that, and yeah, I think like it's going to be the best. Um, it's going to make Dart like one of the best languages. It's the only thing, in my opinion, it's the only like major thing missing right now that other languages have. Okay, so for me to build a smelter, I still don't have enough. All right, Mohammed, you sleep tight. And what I need to do, because I don't think I have, yeah, okay, I'm gonna save this game, new save. Let's call it like playthrough. Oops. Oh my god. Playthrough. Because I need to make a change. We need the resources. My smelter. Smelter A. Instead of copper, I want clay. Okay. And we'll just rebuild. Wait, did that rebuild? No, there we go. And let's load game. Playthrough. Ooh, what's level has not been initialized. That's weird. We'll figure it out. I feel like I'm floating. I joined the stream late. No, I mean, not that late. You're cool, you're cool. I've been streaming all day. Okay, so now what I need is clay. Let's just make sure all my resources are here. That okay, I have this, I have stone, I need clay. So what I want to do is actually like some particle effects when you're mining to actually know when you get it. How many things am I gonna need? I need to make a smelter. I need 10. Okay, cool. Andrew, if you like the Hive video, I do recommend. I put out something pretty recently that I think is way better in terms of Riverpod and just like networking and stuff. The series is, I don't know, it's called like networking and Riverpod or something. And I just did a follow-up video on it, making some corrections, and I think it's a pretty good coverage. It got Randall Schwartz approval ultimately after I made that follow-up video. So I'm happy about that. Okay, we can now craft a smelter. And this is going to make life pretty cool. Okay, so now I should have a smelter. And I'm going to put my smelter right here. Yay, so now I can put stuff in here, like iron ore. Let's put some iron ore in, and I'll start smelting. So that'll just make me iron plates. And I can get more iron. So yeah, this game, I'm working on this for the, I don't know if you're aware, there's like the Flutter challenge right now. It's like a game dev challenge using Flutter. So I'm building this, I'm calling it Craft Town right now, name subject to change. I don't know if you're any bit of a gamer, but it's kind of like a Stardew Valley meets factorio / satisfactory. So you're trying to, you can, you know, it's like an automation game. So you're like, right now I'm automating, and you actually came at a good time because this is the first time I actually like tried playing the game from scratch. So here I have these guys smelting, which is cool. What I also want is a miner. So let's see if we can build that. I want a heavy miner. So I need iron ore and stone ore. Okay, I can get that. So it's kind of like, yeah, and I can I'll send a link to the GitHub. I actually just put the GitHub out
Like, I just made it public, like, I think like 5 minutes before you joined, so. Flame is very new to me. Like, when this game jam was announced, I was like, okay, like I should use Flame because I've heard about it. And then I watched a really good tutorial. I can put a link for that too. This one guy did an awesome job. Like, it's probably like a few hours long. Like, it's like 6 or 7 videos, but he explains it so well. And if I didn't watch that, like, I wouldn't be able to make this for sure. Although, like, most of this game isn't even like, I'm using Flame for like the rendering and collisions and stuff like that, but a lot of this is just straight up Riverpod, which I know I'm not really coding right now. I'm kind of just playing, but if you stay long enough, there'll be some code. Okay, so wait, I needed what was I trying to make? Heavy miner. Okay, I got enough stuff, so I'm gonna craft a miner. So what's cool about this is now I can take that miner and I can actually go and put it on this, for instance. Now, I need to work on the placement of it, but you got the idea. And this is actually now just going to be mining for me, so I don't have to like go and do the tedious shit. And look, I have these guys, which are cool because I'll need them for something. Okay, so far, like, there's a couple things I mean, I'm pretty happy with the startup. Okay, so I have that going. I maybe want to make another one. Let's see. So I'm getting iron, which is cool. I think I'd probably actually make. These should probably like require iron plates, not iron ore. That's something I would change for sure. I'm gonna actually change that now, but not save yet. So smelter. So instead of iron, let's do iron plates. Iron plates, conch. Also, like, I don't know. I'm just gonna do that for now, not save it. Okay, my energy's going down, so, oh no, where'd my tent go? The heck? Something weird happened. Where did my tent go? I think that happened after the loading, saving and loading. So there's something weird happening there. But I definitely need a tent. So I need some wood and I need a whole bunch of straw. Oops. I'm too tired to mine straw. Oh no, I'm gonna die. Watch, this is gonna be good. No, I don't think I have it in me to make this. No, I need more wood. It's not gonna let me. So I'm about to, you can't actually die in this game, but you pass out, which is pretty fun. Two players, multiplayer. Likely not. I'm trying to keep the scope pretty small, and it's already kind of grown into this like pretty enormous thing. Why haven't I died yet? This is annoying because I pretty much have to wait to die because I don't have enough energy to, unless I have wood somewhere that I don't. I have, wait, oh, I only have 7 wood. I can buy wood. No, I can't. Okay. Yeah, for some reason when I loaded that game, my stuff didn't come back. I'm gonna have to look into that. That's probably what we'll do next. But let's just die so I can make my tent. What do I have the update set to? I think it's like every 90 seconds. 120 seconds. Okay, well, we're just gonna save this. Yeah, you were too tired, you passed out. Yay! Amazing. Okay, let's get a rebuild. I'm gonna try and figure out what went on with my tent not coming back after I saved, because that's a big problem. So let's actually go to the spawn state and go to my debug. And do I have a tent in here? Tent. And we'll go back to my constants, which I think I just closed. And we'll use debug true. Okay, let's place a tent down and save game, new save, tent test. I wonder if I just did something weird where I saved a file and it hot reloaded. Okay, now we're gonna load that game. Tent test. Yeah, okay. I did see this error come up. I think it's just something in my main file got whack. So wait, on load, we load level. Oh, it's because I have this, right, I put this in when I was experimenting with something. That's probably the root of the problem. So, in theory, now let's just refresh, and I can actually go back to that original save. What kind of stuff have you built in Flutter or whatever? Okay, my tent's back. So it's just a weird, yeah, this is a weird thing. Okay, cool. SDK mostly. What does that mean? What does that mean? Explain yourself. Like you make SDKs for like a certain like product or something? But I'm not sure exactly what you mean, but I'd like to speak about it. I'm gonna kind of figure out the ideal early game. Okay, so phase 1 is like make sure okay, so you basically need focus on some food. Yeah, you like plant some seeds to get food. Let's go to our resources. You need to get a bucket, or craft a bucket. Craft a bucket. So, bucket, wooden bucket. This requires wood and iron. This is where I think it should be an iron plate. So in order to craft a bucket, I feel like this is going to require a little better than just a text editor. We're opening up Fig Jam. Life's getting good. I'm ready. What do you mean? I already use Fig Jam. Oh, wait a second. Make a jam. Oh, okay, cool. It's your place to work, make internal SDKs. Awesome. And then you're doing Flutter as a side gig. Are you doing it Flutter like paid at all, or are you just doing it like learning it and having fun? Okay, so how do I want to start this? Early game. I don't want that. I want no. Where's the little? Okay, they are. There's what I want. I don't like this. I want one of these. I want one of these. Where's my... There's one that I usually use. This one looks okay. Cool. Okay, so goals at the start. You need to have food. You definitely need to have some water. Cool. Now, in order to get water, just grab. I'll just say that. So the requirements for water: you need to make a bucket. Where's my arrows? Water. You need a bucket. Where's this? Oh, where's all my fancy? What the heck? Oh, there it is. This arrow. So in order to get water, you need a bucket. In order to make a bucket, you need wood, which that's easy. But you also need an iron plate. Let's just do that and this. Wood, and you definitely need this is iron plate. Now, in order to make an iron plate, you need a smelter, and of course you need iron, which iron, that's easy. You can just mine that yourself. Iron's good. Smelting the iron. So you do background Android compose and then change it to Flutter. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I never really did much app development prior to Flutter. I did React Native for a bit, but mostly I've just been in the web dev world for years. And I tried to do some stuff in it before even Swift, like Objective C, and like I did some stuff, but it was hard. I just like to write code. I don't like how there's like storyboards and you have to like connect the dots on things, and just like I just want to write. But then and then I used React Native and I liked it. It was familiar because I was I did a lot of JavaScript in React, but it was like kind of janky. And then once I started learning about Flutter, I was like, this is it, guys. See you later. Okay, so let's look at a smelter. It doesn't make sense that a smelter would require an iron plate because you need that. Let's look at our resources again. Let's go down to the bottom. So smelter, I guess, yeah, it can't be anything smeltable, and all these are going to require that stuff. So I think a smelter just needs to be kind of low level, like. No, I'm not. I haven't used React Native in like probably 3 years, at least 2 years. Except on one. There's one project I brought into that was already in React Native, so I did do some work maybe like a year and a half ago. But yeah, I've just been Flutter. I wouldn't say I'm a full-time Flutter dev. Like I do a lot of back-end stuff too. I'm like full stack, and I do a lot of web dev because Flutter's not. I love it, but it's not for everything. So I do a lot of Python and Django. That's like my back-end preference. I've done some Dart backend actually too, which is cool. And then I do a lot of like, I don't know, SvelteKit and Next.js and whatever. Smelter. So smelter is going to require, we're just going to say iron ore, which is something you can get. So let's change that. Oops. It's just iron. Let's do iron, clay, and stone. And I can just make this iron, clay, stone, because they're all primary resources. Now, one interesting idea I had is it would be kind of cool if out of those 3 resources, if you needed like a specific tool, kind because what tools do we have? We have like a pick, which makes sense for iron, and it makes sense for stone. But maybe clay requires a shovel, and maybe you don't have the shovel initially. We would have to. That could be cool. It would have to then be like wouldn't require clay, because you'd have to be able to make an iron plate to make a shovel. Maybe that's the move. Let's go back here. So this is not going to require clay anymore. Or actually, maybe it does. Maybe it does, and you can make a shovel with just iron. You don't need an iron plate. So let's actually separate these again. I'll just do iron and stone, because those cool. You start with a pickaxe. I'm just trying to make the game fun now, I guess. It's probably the goal. Like I have most of the mechanics I think figured out. It's just like, how do you actually play the game? What backend do you said you do backend dev mostly? What is it? Iron, stone, and clay. But clay requires the shovel, which actually makes farming interesting too, because you won't be able to farm day one or right away. Okay, what cool tooling you found in the world using Django? I pretty much exclusively use Django REST framework. If it's something that needs an API, which pretty much if I'm building something in Django, like 90% of the time. Oh yes, I remember someone was talking about Golang earlier. Yeah, so I mean my Django stack is like Django REST framework, Celery, I don't know, Postgres, I guess. In terms of tooling, yeah, I haven't really used Django Ninja, but I hear good things. I have done I've used Flask, I use Fast API, but I end up just being like, wow, Django already does all this stuff, so why? And I'm very comfortable with Django, so I just don't really need to look around anymore. I still do, but I don't need to. Because technically in any language you could create basically anything. I just like Django. Okay, so that means we're going to need a shovel resource, which I'm going to make this a different color because we haven't made this yet. We have the tool, but we don't actually have the way to craft it. Okay, so that kind of gets you to that, to get your iron plate, so you can get a bucket so that you can get fucking water. So it's kind of like a race at the start to, before you die of thirst to get that. So that's cool. Got a repo for Django. Let me think. Most of my Django stuff is pretty it's not. I'm not working in any open source Django projects that I can think of right now. Other than I can kind of show you how I structure it, because this is probably the only open source. Wait, this is my newer one. I think I have Houston old. Is that what it was? Houston dash old. So I kind of while we're on the topic of it, I can show you through this. And I forget if this is still on GitHub. I'm kind of in the middle. I did a major refactor on this, and I've considered bringing it back to its old ways, so I still have the thing. But in terms of the structure of a Django project, I'm pretty happy with this structure. I made it a little bit bigger so you can see, but basically so just look at the services folder. This is actually this project's called Houston. It's actually it's a monolithic repo for a backend and a front end. But if you look at the service folder, which is everything you can see here, this is kind of my normal structure. So I have all the normal stuff. Your requirements. I use make files a lot just to not have to worry about remembering commands. And then obviously project is kind of like your root project. And then within settings, I basically have like a different settings file for everything I can think of. So it's very compartmentalized. So it's like, okay, what's my AWS settings? And it's just like these things. It reads from your environment variables and pulls it in. And basically the init.py imports all those files in. So, you know, you just, as long as you import settings. So rather than one big settings file, it's just a settings module. I like that structure. Just keeps things really easy. And then obviously I don't, store any environment variables in it. I'm storing it in a .env file, which is not even version controlled, and then those you put up on your server, basic, whatever. In terms of the actual, let's look at the requirements. What am I using? Requirements.txt. So I've used CircleCI a lot, but I've just been using GitHub Actions as of recently. It just works great, and it's one less thing I have to pay for. So yeah, like I'm using, I use Botto 3 on most projects because I'm usually using an S3 backend for my images. Celery, obviously, just Unicorn. Like it's pretty, Django REST framework. There's a few Django plugins like color field, course headers, environ, filter, phone numbers, whatever. Unicorn, JWT stuff, Redis, requests, obviously. Sentry for logging, Twilio for sending, text messages, white noise for image hosting. That's really all you need. I mean, you'll need other things if you're doing something very specific, but you can build most things with just that. And then, so then I have like a feature-based thing. So there's different folders for each kind of like component. Like contents, obviously, like, a big thing. And I like to actually, instead of a models.py, I usually break it into a models folder with an init.py, so you can kind of keep them separately. So you have like, your comments and whatever. This is a very basic project, just like posts and comments and stuff. But that's kind of it. And then API, I have an API folder, an app, and there's a separate folder for each resource, essentially. And, the URLs, I'll just include those URLs and so on and so forth. So nothing crazy, nothing out of the box. I think like it's just the way I like to break up the folders is probably the only thing that's like somewhat unique, but I don't think it's like crazy unique. What else do I do? It's probably like this project I don't even think has, it does have signals, yeah. So like signals.py for doing saves and stuff. Anyways, that's kind of it. Let me see if I missed any questions. CI/CD. Yeah, so that's the back end, and then on the front end, it's like I have this. What is this even? Yeah. Basically, there's a Flutter front end that ties into this, and then a CLI as well. That is a Dart-based CLI for generating code and stuff. Usually, if I am working on a project in this sort of way, though, I usually have two VS Code windows open because it's just too much to like. Some of the files are the same and everything. But yeah, it's kind of that project. Okay, so that is how you get water. Food. So now this actually changes things because you need to get seeds. Now I think you'll start with some seeds. I think that's like a good thing to start with. But you can't even plant them until you have a shovel, right? So you also need a shovel. Shovel. And again, in order to get a shovel, which I don't think, I didn't even figure out yet. I think a shovel is going to be wood, obviously, and iron. And just iron ore, because the Django project I was showing, let me see. It's not really a real project. I mean, it is, but it isn't. Let me just search. So I have I might have privatized it when I went back. No, it is public. Yeah, I'll send you the link to it. So I've since sort of rebuilt this with using, because I have this thing. It's called Houston, and I use this on probably 8 production apps in some way, shape, or form. So it's like the Flutter front end, and Django back end, and they're all tied together with like code generation and stuff too, and not just like not like code generation from in terms of like build runner, but like masonry. So being able to like just generate models and stuff like that. So the way this project works is you can literally in this CLI thing be like create a new model. Does it even have the instruction in it? Yeah, this just has like the Django sort of instructions in it. But I can put it. This is the same project I was just showing you. It's public. And then what I kind of did was I was realizing especially in the Flutter community, it's way too much I think to get people to adopt something that is so when the back end is also something very specific. It's a hard challenge to be like, hey Flutter people, come over here, use this thing, because then they gotta learn Python and they gotta learn Django. So I kind of decided I'm gonna use Supabase as kind of the back end to Houston, and I got something working and it's pretty cool, but I just, the more I think about it, I'm it's still not Django. It's still not, you don't have the control, that you do in an actual full stack. So I'm considering, kind of going back to this version. I wouldn't, I'm just would I use this? No, I probably wouldn't, because I'd rather just use Django. And, I think it's just about putting it out there in that way. So you could, you can check this out. And does the CLI have a README? Yeah. So you can look at this. You could install. I mean, keep in mind this is probably a pretty old version of Flutter in here. There's probably stuff if you want to look at the front end stuff. But the cool thing is you can actually create modules through the CLI and define them, and it will generate the code on both the front end and the back end, which is pretty cool. Check it out. Okay, so shovel, and we'll make this orange just to remind us we have to still make this. And I'm going to make this green, because I think you're going to launch with some seeds, just to kind of not worry about having to buy them or whatever we end up doing. Okay, so that handle, as long as you can get a shovel, which again, a shovel, I could just draw. Let's just do this. Actually, in an ideal world, oops. Let's actually just bring this all the way up here. Then I can just have one arrow, one instance of this thing. So you need a shovel, and you need seeds. But you're gonna start with seeds. So you got your food covered. Now, the other thing you need to worry about is your rest. I'm just gonna... I'm just gonna delete it. I missed one thing. Okay. So the other thing you need to worry about is rest. So in order to rest, you need a tent. No, you're not going to start with a tent. Tent. And I think tent requires, right now, straw and wood. So that's easy. You can make that. So tent, straw, and wood. Boom. So my YouTube channel is 95% Flutter. If you check it out, there's a lot of videos there. Yeah, 95% Flutter stuff. I dabble in some other things, but at least recently I'm kind of just focusing on that because it's hard on YouTube to be very spread out. And yeah, even this project is obviously Flutter. So, however, this is a very informal video because I'm just streaming it live. So it's just come hang out, basically. Okay, so that kind of deals with this. So this would be like the early game, kind of getting then why is it so tiny? Huge early game, or like it's really like starting game. And then like early game, which I'll come back to. Okay, so if this is all correct, then yeah, we need to make the shovel. Let's do it. Let's actually write some code. So we're gonna make a I think I already have a shovel graphic. What size is it? This shovel is 16 by 16. That's amazing. It's in tools. I'm just gonna copy this. Where are my assets? Tools, oops, assets, images, tools. So I'm just gonna go shovel. I'm going to pull it over here just to keep the same convention. Where did it go? Shovel. Okay, so 16 by 16. And then for my resource, I do generally like to have a larger size, which kind of irrelevant, but we're gonna do it anyways. 200% nearest neighbor. Oh yeah. So shovel 32 by 32. Okay, then we're going to go to our resources and be somewhere around smeltables. No, this will be I guess this is technically an assemblable. It's gonna have two things. Let's do it first. Shovel. 32 by 32. Shovel. 3 seconds to craft. 1 per slot. Can place? No. Or pick up? No. Right now, I'm not going to worry about whether you can do it. Okay, then we need wood, and we need just regular iron. Iron maybe 5, wood 10. We'll balance it later. Okay, then what I can do is in tools. So I already did this with bucket. Yeah, resources required. So I do this for the shovel, and we can do shovel. And that should be all we have to do. I'm just going to rebuild from scratch, and I'm going to try to shovel. Okay, so if I grab the shovel, shovel required to use this tool. Yes. Okay, so I need to craft a shovel. No problem. Shovel. Shovel is not craftable. That makes sense. Oh no, it is. Wait. Did I just not see it in here? Number. Oh, I just didn't add it to the. I didn't add it to my master list. So this would be under here. We'll do it right here. Resources dot shovel. Let's try again. Okay, so shovel's in here now, and ooh, oh yeah, that's just because I have to rebuild in order to get that image. But regardless, we need wood, which means we need our axe. Oh, what the heck happened here? It like loaded my last, oh, maybe I just never rebuilt. And we need, what's the other thing? Iron. So I can craft a shovel. And then that means I can actually use a shovel. Because right now, in order to do this, it's going to be like you need... Well, yeah, I needed to make that change too. Fuck. Where's that done? It's in clay. Clay. Use our stock clay. Mining tool required. We're actually going to make it the shovel. So now if I try and do this with a pickaxe, use shovel to mine clay. Shovel. Boom. Use shovel. Now I'm getting my clay. Yay! And that allows me to go back to here. Shovel. Yeah, in order to make the food, but it also allows me to work my way up to make a smelter. I can make a smelter, I can make an iron plate, I can make a bucket, which means I can get water. Okay, that all works. Packages in a pub spec. That's a great question. The second part of your question is you just grab the parts you need from the repo. I very rarely do that. Usually if I'm like, I need a package, it's because the package has, a lot of things I need in it. And I'd rather just include it all. There are cases though where it's like, oh, this package is, it just has like, there's this one function I want, this one like, whatever, and I'll just pull it into my own code and that's fine. I'd say I do that pretty rarely. In terms of this project, this isn't really a good example because this is like a game, but if we look at my pub spec, I don't have too many things. Let's see. Flame, and a couple of flame, like flame tile, using river pod, freezed, build runner, obviously, this shot probably should be my dev, collection, even though like, even though this is included in Flutter, it just, having it actually in your pub spec just gets rid of some warnings, and it also makes the auto import work better because it has some extension methods in it. Sembast for database stuff. Get it. Am I even using get it? Yeah, I am. International license. So, that's an okay length. I don't usually have a problem with dependency conflicts, and if I do, it's because I'm, using something that just hasn't been, like, I'm very careful when I'm installing a package, like making sure, it's okay, there's been an update in the last month or something like that, and there's not a ton of issues on GitHub. In the case there's a dependency conflict, I'll clone, I'll make a fork of it and edit it to my liking and then point that. But I'll go into probably my biggest project, one of my biggest Flutter projects. Like this is a very, very large project, and I don't think the pub spec is ridiculous though for the size of this project. Like this project has, each of these folders is a whole MVC architecture of models, views, whatever. Like it's a very large project, and this project's been in development and been live for years. But what do I have in here? Let's just zoom out one. So some stuff for singletons. I got obviously riverpod. Some, I don't know why I have DO and HTTP. I think that's stupid. Probably a mistake. But this is how many. It's pretty. I don't know. I'm not counting the numbers, but 13 starts at 13, goes to. We'll ignore the dev dependencies. 71. So what's that, like 50, 58? Although there's some that are just this. So this is like an example where I'm installing a. There was like something called Analytics Flutter, and it probably had like a dependency issue. So I actually like cloned it, made the changes, or I forked it, made the changes, then actually point to it specifically until they at least update it. But I don't know. I haven't had any issues with that, like that often. It's usually solvable. So that's a great question, and in theory, I shouldn't be. It's just kind of one of those things. Part of my learning process. I started this project years ago, and there's nothing wrong with using both. Like I'm using Get It for just singleton injection, and it's really just for a few specific things that like I want to be able to access when I don't even have ref in theory, like be able to access it from a service or whatever. So like I'm using it for like audio playback, shared preferences, that kind of thing. I'm not using Get It at all for state. It's just really for like getting access to something that I don't want to like have multiple versions hanging around. Logging, I use what's it called? Segment. No, that's not what it's called. Sentry. So there's a package, Sentry Flutter, and then you just point it and everything's good. So I mean that's kind of it. That's kind of it. That's kind of it. Okay. I did want to do one more thing, and then I'm probably going to call it a day on this. But I just want to go to the tool menu. I kind of want to make the ones that are not available like kind of faded out. So for instance right here, like I don't technically have a water bucket, or I do actually, but in theory I might not have the water bucket, I might not have the shovel. Scythe is also something we could make them get to get food. Maybe that's actually a cool idea too. Seed, and you also need a actually make this orange as well. Scythe. Oh, tests. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm terrible at that, and it's something I need to be better about. The way I test is I run it and then hope that it works. Actually, this is kind of not really part of that. Yeah, I should do tests, shouldn't I? Yeah. But to be honest, yeah, like I should. I also work in a world of having to do things very quickly, and you know, under the gun from a client, and they don't care about tests. So, and usually, like, you know, they're squeezing my budget already, so it's the first thing to go. Okay, so what I want to do is wrap this in a, oops, not in a builder. Wrap this in an opacity widget. Opacity, and opacity is going to be equal to something like is available. We'll do 1, if not it'll be like 0.7 or something. And is available is going to be equal to ref dot watch. I have an inventory provider, inventory list provider. No, I want to use actually my inventory map. Inventory map provider dot first. Dot. Can I just? I think I can do this. Just want to make it helpful. Just want to make it helpful for this. We want to use the. Oh, this shouldn't actually be here. This needs to be within the loop. Tool dot. Oh right, this is a little more complicated. Resources required equals tool dot resources required. Is available equals false. Oops. Okay, so we have rule available equals false, is available equals false, and then we will go or actually we'll say it's true by default, and then we'll just go for final R in. There's gonna be a better way to do this, but let's actually do this. If ref dot watch inventory map provider R dot I can just do dot contains key, and we would just use R dot identifier is available equals false, make them break out. Yeah, I love the, oh, that's why I think I have debug mode on. I was wondering why I keep getting all these amazing resources. Okay, going back to false. Okay, let's rebuild. Yeah, river pods, build code generators and everything. They're great. They're definitely helpful. Although I would say like freezed would be like, I mean, freezed is more helpful. I think the amount of stuff it does. Like you could still write the river pod stuff, but some of it. There's some exceptions. Like definitely doing stuff with like families, multiple families, like without the build runner stuff would be really hard. Okay, there we go. Look, these ones are faded out. I feel like it needs a little more fading. So where's my opacity? Let's do like 0.5. So it kind of like shows like, yeah, you could get it, but it's not there. We might do the same for scythe. It's like you start the game with these two things. I think you have to build a scythe. That'd be cool. But I'm gonna do that another time. All right, I got a couple minutes and then I'm gonna take off, but I will show you the inventory provider. So there's the inventory list provider is so it's a river pod provider called inventory list, and what it actually returns is a list of inventory slots. Inventory slot just has a resource in it. Technically it can be null, and it has a count of how many in there, defaulting to 0. And when it builds, so the initial build, it's using sorry. It's generating just an empty list of 16, and then I'm just like putting in the first one, some potato seeds, right? Cool, that's all good. And then maybe what you're referring to is the inventory map, which the problem with like working with the inventory list when I want to know, do I have that resource? It's like I have to like loop through all the, the things, check if they're the resource, check what the count is. So I actually just have another provider called inventory map provider, which is a also riverpod class, but this is really just like a computed provider. It's basically just watching the inventory list, and then it's just massaging the data. So it's looping through all the slots. And if the key already exists of one, it's just incrementing, the slot, how many things are in it. So this would ultimately return, like all the identifiers of those resources as a map as the key with like how many things are in it. So in this case, or whatever I just did, which was in the tool menu, I was basically looking at that inventory map, making sure it has the key. Because if it has the key, it means there's at least one. Is the way like my system works. And then I just set is available to false if it doesn't have that key at any case, because there might be multiple things that could be. So that's kind of it. Any other questions before I take off? And while you're maybe writing another question, I just have some like helpers in here, and like ability to remove a resource. So removing a resource, you pass in what resource you want and the quantity of it, and it actually loops through and starts removing those things, and it gets the inventory out. And there's also like stuff to add the resource, which will actually return either true or false if it worked, because you might be out of space. You can consume stuff, yeah, that kind of thing. None. No other questions. Okay, cool. This is, if you're curious, because I think you might have come right before or right after I did this, but let me just make sure that's the link. But if you want to take a look at the code, I'm going to commit these changes now, but I do have this publicly on GitHub now, as of just a couple hours ago. It's been on GitHub for a long time, but privately. So we're going to commit some code. I forget what I did. We did just some adjustments to starting game / resources. We also made the shovel resource, opacity on tools. I don't know. I didn't do that much in the last little bit because I've just kind of been planning and playing. Yeah, check it out. I think it's pretty good. Like I said, like if you're familiar with RiverPod, like most of my work is in RiverPod on this project. Like the game itself, like there's a few files. Like we have level. There's a lot of stuff in here, like all the stuff for spawning the resources and stuff like that. But a lot of it's RiverPod, and the thing that makes this all possible is there is a mixin called RiverPod Component Mixin. You have to install it, but it allows your game to actually have a ref and talk to RiverPod, and it allows RiverPod to talk to your game through their. You have to have like a game key, and then you can kind of talk through it, which is cool. I don't know when my next stream is. I don't. I actually don't stream that often, to be honest. So I might do a bit more tomorrow. I don't know what time zone you're in. I'm in EST, so I might do a little more like tomorrow morning, like 8 a.m. EST time or something. But I'm not really. I don't have like a plan exactly. I'm working on this anyways. I'm like, I might as well just have on the stream because this is kind of like a fun little project that isn't. Most things I work on are kind of like proprietary and secretive, other than the YouTube videos I make. So I can't really like just be streaming what I'm working on. But on the weekends and stuff like that, if I'm able to actually work on a side project, I'm liking it. Actually, earlier today, I had some help from someone who made some things a bit better for me, which was, I was like joking, like, oh, I'm gonna get this game done so soon now. So the mix-in package is, it's when you install Flame, you can also install, someone's made something called Flame RiverPod. I don't think it's even I don't know if it's like supported officially by, let's see, Flame RiverPod. Well, it's supported. Like it's on their, yeah, I guess it is. Maybe it's their own, so Blue Flame, I forget the name of this company, that they have a few projects. If we go to their Blue Fire, they're called. So Blue Fire is the creator of Flame, but they also created some other package you might have used. Like they have. I didn't really want to go to the Discord. I meant to go to the GitHub. This is the Flame GitHub. But anyways, yeah. So it is an official package, and it just allows you to actually like talk to. And I wouldn't be able to make this game without this. Like, or I wouldn't. Yeah, like I wouldn't have been able to do this because I don't want to. I don't want to use any other state management ever. Anyways, so yeah, check that out too. It's pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna take off. Thank you for hanging out. Yeah, get your friends. And yeah, if you haven't, I think you mentioned already you've seen some of my YouTube videos. But if you like, I feel like I have some pretty good content on there that is good to learn some stuff. So, anyways, oh, maybe that was my issue. So I was loading. No, okay. We're cool. All right, I'm going to take off. Thanks for watching, and catch you around.